Welcome to the BlueCollarBaddies podcast. This is episode number 14. This episode is sponsored by TheStoicPearl, supporting and empowering women in the trades. Today we're here with Alex. And what trade are you in?
Electrical.
Okay. And how long have you been doing it?
About 14 years.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah. How'd you get started?
I grew up in a family that is very trades-oriented, blue-collar.
Nice.
You know, my papa, he did electrical for signs on like skyscrapers and things.
Oh, wow.
And commercial. And then my other papa, he also did electrical for a while.
Dang.
And slash pastor.
Yeah, that's
so,
cool.
I got my first toolbox when I was 6. And
Aw.
it is inevitable to be in the trade in some aspect.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. So that's just always what you've wanted to do?
No, not really.
Okay.
Didn't really think that's what I was going to do per se. I kind of took a while to find what my real calling was, but there was always something about electrical. Ever since Miss Richette's 4th grade class on circuits.
Oh, yeah.
That I just thought was rad. So,
that's cool.
You know, I felt like eventually I found my way to it and realized, you know, I've been running from it, but this is where I'm supposed to be.
Right. So, I mean, did you explore anything else before you went into that then?
I did. I actually painted professionally for a while.
Okay.
And then put myself through trade school doing that. Yeah. Painting commercial exteriors.
Oh, yeah.
Big heights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, among a laundry list of other things.
Right.
And found my way back to it and settled in nicely. And it turned out I had a knack for it. And started climbing the ladder.
Nice. That's cool. What's been the biggest struggle in your career?
The biggest struggle in my career would probably be that when I started in the trades, you know, I was younger. There's other people that were, you know, older than me that had been in there longer. Yeah. And it was something that I just excelled at. Mm-hmm. And ended up climbing the ranks quicker than I guess most. Right. But with that came its struggles, you know, people not wanting to listen whenever I was giving them a directive or you know, laying out what we were going to be doing for the week and things like that. You know, got a lot of resistance from some people, not all. Yeah. But, you know, finding my footing and how to manage and overcome some of those obstacles is probably one of my bigger things. Gotcha. But since then, you know, I found my footing in that as well. That's good. Yeah.
You get any like hate from other women on the job site or anything like that? Yeah. Actually, you know, you'd think you wouldn't, but you know, there's been quite a bit, and it's unfortunate, but like, and I'm a very big advocate. You know, women in trades, let's go. Yeah. Right. And early on in my career, I had hired several, you know, from different schools, trade schools and things like that. Very hopeful that, you know, we could get a couple. Hopefully they're going to be like me, you know, detail-oriented and we can show up and show out. And what I'd found, not in all cases, but in some, was that there was some drama attached to a lot of that and headache that just wasn't necessary. And I found that pretty discouraging too, because you know, you want to be a champion for that. Mm-hmm. And then to be met with that adversity is just kind of soul crushing sometimes. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you're part of that Facebook group, but it's kind of discouraging too. I had to delete myself out of there for a while. Which Facebook group? The Women in the Trades Facebook. I guess I'm not. It gets pretty raunchy in there. Does it? Yeah. No, I'm pretty terrible with social media. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's probably with any job, but it sucks that it has to come to the trades too. Yeah, definitely. We as women have our strengths, but we also have our shortcomings. And, you know, how to figure out and navigate in between that will be a big thing. Yeah. Are there any like embarrassing job site stories you want to share? Well, that one definitely comes to mind at the forefront. Early on in my career, I was a foreman for some lighting projects, lighting retrofit projects for the Ascension hospitals. And one hospital in particular, they were having an issue with one of the lights, and I was doing a quality audit of it at that time. And there was a light that had an issue, so I just popped up above the T-grid, and I'm just going to look at it. You know, I hadn't turned anything off yet, just trying to see if I could see anything that might have been awry before I actually got into it, killed the breaker. Right.
And as soon as I just moved the light a little, it arced.
Oh, dang.
And killed the breaker.
Yikes.
I know. The unfortunate part is the location of this light was right outside the ICU.
Oh.
And not only did it trip several lights in the ICU, it tripped this automatic door.
Yikes.
Somehow, for some reason, it was on the same circuit. And then the door would not open.
Oh, my.
So I was panicking, like, what if they need to get in? Or what if someone needs to get out?
Yeah.
And where the breaker was labeled in the junction box, it was not that panel.
What the
That
heck?
went to that, something me and the maintenance man are scrambling trying to figure out where the circuit has been run.
Oh my gosh.
And it took about 15 to 20 minutes where that door was inoperational, and I just wanted to die.
Yeah, I
I was like, I'm going to be responsible for something happening to somebody. Why is this happening to me?
That's awful.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your favorite tool?
Oh, my favorite tool. So, tools are a touchy subject when it comes to the trades. Like, you know, everybody's got their brand, and they're like,
right.
It's almost like, what sports team
Yeah.
are you a fan of? What football team do you cheer for almost when
Yeah.
it comes to power tools and things? And I'll just go on record and say, all those electricians out there can be haters. I'm a rigid girl. I don't mess with Milwaukee. I don't do it.
Huh.
I definitely don't mess with DeWalt. However, DeWalt does make this one tool. It's a gyroscopic screwdriver. So just a little guy, and then you can twist it so it's a pistol grip or a straight grip.
Nice.
And you just push the button and turn your wrist, and it'll go whichever direction you turn your wrist. It is a wrist saver. It is a time saver, and I use it all the time.
Huh. Nice.
All the time.
That's
It is
cool.
fantastic. If you don't have one, get it. You'll be thanking me later, trust me.
I have the cheap Walmart version, but
Yeah, well, it's not that expensive. I think it's like $150. You get a couple batteries with it as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You can get it on Amazon. Yeah.
Sweet.
I've got 2 of them just in case.
Yeah.
Like, I left one, I was doing a service call, and I left one on top of this stone gate. And I left, and I couldn't find it the next day, scratching my brain. And then a month later, I came back to that same property to do a different service call.
Yeah.
And found it.
That's funny.
It had been outside for a month, rained on and everything, still worked after.
Hot damn.
So now I got 2.
That's awesome. And crazy that nobody else found it yet.
I know. I got lucky.
That's cool. So you were talking earlier about working out. Is that just for your health or kind of to help you with the job, or?
Well, I'm not in the field as much, although
Okay.
I did just get done digging about 2,500 foot of ditch.
Dang.
With the excavator and rock breaker.
Yeah.
The working out is more for me being able to keep up with my little boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're a handful and a half. Just try to get healthier and to live longer for them and keep up with them.
Right.
Because I thought I had energy, but
Yeah.
boy, they got energy.
Yeah. You wear a hard hat on the job site?
It depends on the job site. I'm over the service division, so we do some. Basically, what my division does is we handle all service calls, whether it be residential, commercial, or industrial.
Okay.
We also do remodels, tenant improvements, things like that. So those jobs, when needed, yes. So I'd say it's probably about a 40-60 split.
Okay, yeah.
But if I don't have to wear one,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Because
Right.
I did that. I'm done with that hard hat business if I can help it.
Yeah. So, I guess a lot of girls get like breakouts where the hard hat sits, or me, I wear a respirator, so my chin and my forehead's always broke out. Do you have any like skincare stuff you use to just keep your...
I'm probably the worst person to ask about skincare. I mean, up until a few years ago, I washed all over with Irish Springs for my hair, face, body, just one bar soap for everything.
Dang.
And, my wife, she's like, you can't, you need to use real shampoo.
I mean, your skin looks good though.
Well, Irish Spring for everything, you know what I mean?
That's funny. What about work clothes? Is there a specific brand you like to shop for?
For jeans, it's Wranglers.
Okay.
But being a 6'3" female, like, girl clothes wouldn't fit if I wanted them to.
Yeah, you don't want them to. They suck anyway.
Yeah, for shoes, a lot of times they stop at a size 10, and I'm a 12 or 13 in men's, depending on the shoes. So,
My options, I guess, are more vast because I can
for sure
wear,
they make that
know,
stuff
guy
for
clothes.
men.
Yeah, it'll fit me. So,
That's
you know,
cool.
that I guess I don't really have anything to add to help them there. But I will say that, you know, Carhartt, my daughter, my middle daughter, she was an apprentice for me for a while.
Okay.
You know, in the summer times when she was out of school, and I was able to find some really good work pants and stuff. Carhartt has really stepped up on the female line of things.
Good.
And she loves them.
Yeah.
So
I have their coveralls, and I have a jacket that I had in high school, and I still wear it.
Yeah.
I
mean, I know they're getting a lot of more brand recognition, more for the fashion side of things, but
yeah,
they've definitely stepped up their game for the female aspect of things.
Right.
My daughter's decked out head to toe, and when she went into the trades, I was so proud. Even though that's not what she's going for.
Yeah.
Forever, I was like, at least have a backup trade or skill. You know, if you don't end up liking it, you've got something to fall back on. And she, I got all excited, and then I decked her out, got her pouch, did her pouch, put all these different tools in it, got her decked out in Carhartt. So
that's cool.
It was pretty, So I'd say that Carhartt will get you through for sure.
So she's an electrician too?
No, she apprenticed with my company for 2-3 years during the summer times or during breaks and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But I'll say she took to it like fish to water.
Yeah.
She's wired circles around some of the guys out there, and
Good.
she's the tiniest one of all of them.
That's awesome. That's cool. So do you think any of your girls will end up in the trade?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We've got my oldest, she's finishing up her doctorate for physical therapy.
Oh, dang.
Delaney, she's going to be going to PA school.
Okay.
She's taking a gap year, looking at doing EMT to get clinical hours, and she's going to go to PA school.
Nice.
And then Aniston, she's still figuring it out. It was an interior designer, but then she kind of wanted to do a pivot. So she just kind of finding her footing and taking her time, which is a great thing, because if you're not sure, don't waste the money.
For sure,
You know, figure out what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Before you just put yourself into, student loan debt.
Yeah.
Be sure. And that's another great thing about trades. Like, there's so many ways that you can get into trades. No student debt. I mean, there's programs for trade schools where your employer actually pays for your school.
Yeah.
There's such a big gap where that needs to be filled for, I'm sure, all trades, but we're definitely seeing a shortage in electricians.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching something the other day that said for every 10 that retire and leave the trade, we're having one come in to replace it. My percentage might be off a bit.
I saw that too, yeah.
My percentage might, don't quote me on that, but, it's quite an alarming gap. So if we don't get after it and get more people in the trades, that's going to be a disservice to a lot of projects. It's going to be a service to people who are already in the trades, because we're going to be more valuable each and every day.
That's true. You're going to be busy.
Double-edged sword. It's definitely terrible when you're trying to PM a project and can't find enough people to get the project done. But all in all, that's something. Yeah.
It's like that wave finally caught up of everybody saying you have to go to college, and now where are we?
Nobody pushed trades. Nobody did it. And, they thought, that's middle class. Try to rise above that, but there's nothing low about getting in there, getting a little dirty, getting a little sweaty, getting the lights on, so to speak, and it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things I miss most about being in the field is you get to, when you've done a troubleshoot, like that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, service calls, trying to figure out why something didn't work.
Right.
Kind of getting to be like an electrical detective.
Yeah. That's cool.
And but there's nothing more rewarding than going through, isolating circuits, finding why this isn't working.
Yeah.
Making the essential repair, and then throw that breaker on it. Whatever you're trying to get on comes on.
Yeah.
Is great. I love that.
So it sounds like you're obsessed with your job. You love it.
I am an electrical nerd.
That's awesome.
I am definitely an electrical nerd.
That's
good. My wife I'll tell her stories about work and stuff, and I can just kind of see sometimes just glaze over, like, simple you fixed it will suffice, and I just wanted to go into the circuitry, and but then it did this, and she's just like, okay, so it works now, is what you're saying. Yes, it works now, okay.
That's funny. Well, so if someone wanted to end up where you are, what advice would you give her?
Work hard, get a thick skin. Mm-hmm. You can't let yourself be bothered.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, when you get home, get mad about it, hit a punching bag, whatever you got to do. But the last thing you want is to appear weak and let your emotions get the better of you on a job site.
True.
I looked at it like whenever I was coming into it, when I went to trade school, I was the only female in trade school, the only one. And I looked at it as, this is my competition. I'm a competitive person by nature. But I looked at every single guy in that classroom as my competition. So when we went in to do labs or tests or whatever it was, my main goal was, I'm going to wire quicker than you. I'm going to wire better than you. Nice. I'm going to test higher than you. Yeah. And I just grinded it out. I studied my butt off. Electrical theory, man, that for whatever reason, that kicked my butt. I passed and I made good grades, but man, of all the sections we had to cover, electrical theory definitely gave me the most challenge. But I did not want to be below them, and I just felt like I had to work twice as hard to prove myself. Right. Yeah. And I did.
It's awesome. Stay motivated.
It takes that. It takes drive and consistency and focus for sure.
Yeah. Any big upcoming changes or goals or?
Yeah, there's a couple. I'm looking at. I've already got my electrical license, but I'm looking to get my electrical contractor's license. Okay. It's not something I've needed. Yeah. Because we have a CE holder for the company that I work for, but it's just. So essentially it's going to be a piece of paper if we don't use it, but I've always been like, eventually I'm going to get that, so I'm going to start studying for that. It's not a fun test, it's an 8-hour test.
Golly.
You can break it up into 2 sections, thank God, and you can do 4 and 4. Or you can do the whole shebang, which I don't plan to do.
Yeah, that's rough.
So I'm looking at doing that and getting the ball rolling on studying if I can find the time with these kids.
Right.
And then the other thing is our company is opening. We're slowly starting to add trades, so we're working on adding a roofing division. Okay. So I've been getting my feet wet with that and learning about that to try to help them get that part off the ground. So I'm pretty excited about it. Nice. If ever there's an opportunity for me to learn anything, and it doesn't even cost me money, I'm taking it.
Hell yeah.
I want to learn as much as possible. I'm far too curious to just be in one lane and stay there.
Well, that's the good thing about the trades. It seems like no matter what job site you're on, you're learning something. There's always something there.
There definitely is, and that's like one of the things that I hope to have the knowledge for at least a little bit is to know that I could go in and I know the process and I know how to build it from the ground up. Right. From every angle. Yeah. I would love to know from every angle, from concrete to excavation. Well, excavation I know pretty well. Yeah. But from concrete, excavation, framing, plumbing, maybe a little less on the plumbing. Yeah. I don't really like that. I can do it. I can do enough to not flood something, but I don't get any reward out of plumbing. All you plumbers, I know electricians and plumbers, they have this somewhat war. I don't care. More power to you. I don't want to do what y'all do.
That's funny.
But yeah, I love the trades, the process, going in and seeing something. It's just dirt. And then within, depending on the project, 9 months, a couple years, whatever it may be, this was just dirt. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a building. I just think it was really cool.
For sure, I agree. I work for my boyfriend and we do spray foam. So,
okay.
But he used to work metal buildings with his dad growing up, so he does a little bit of electric. He can pretty much, and it's just, I'm amazed. I'm just sitting there soaking it all in. I love it.
Yeah, that's spray foam. That's wild stuff.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Just a little bit, and it's just.
Yeah, for sure. It's got some pressure behind it.
Yeah, my whole we just bought a house a few years back, brand new, and I went in there after they did that, and I was like, look at this stuff. It was right before they trimmed it. They were waiting for it to dry. And I was looking, I was like, this looks like some kind of crazy alien animal growing out of it. It was wild looking.
Yeah. Man, shaving foam, though, is no joke. I hate that part.
It's kind of like drywall, right? Yeah. I don't mind hanging it, but I don't want to finish it. And I don't want to finish it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I can hang it all day long. That taping and mud, shout out to y'all, that's a pain in the butt. So.
Yeah. If you were to explore another trade, like from the beginning, start brand new, what do you think it would have been?
Ooh, you know, we're talking to her out there. Welding, I really like it. I dabble.
Yeah.
But I probably would do something like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, just not even just for the building aspect of it, but like fabrication.
Yeah.
Make it welding, doing some of my own stuff and being creative. I feel like that's a trade where you can really be creative. Mm-hmm. And I mean, whether it is from the beads you lay to what have you. And my uncle, he's a big welder, and he fabricates all kinds of stuff. And I mean, some of the stuff he does is just like, that's so freaking cool. You just took these couple sheets of sheet metal and you made that.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say probably something like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, or the roofing. I mean, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Like the whole process, I'm learning more and more about that, and I like that aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
So, because I'm curious about all the trades.
It's hard not to be.
Yeah, really.
Do you post anything on social media about your job that you want people to follow?
I don't.
No.
If I'm really, I know I should be. They're like, oh, you know, with networking and this, you should be on social media. You should be on LinkedIn. I mean, I've got all those things.
Right.
Do I open them? Not really. If I open Facebook, it's probably to just pass a little time watching animal videos. Yeah. Being true.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I wish I was more into that. It's just so hard.
It's kind of a headache, honestly.
It is. It is. It doesn't really bring me joy.
Yeah.
Like if I post something, it's probably going to be about my kids or something. Like, oh my gosh, look at this. Yeah. He just went down a slide. It's lame. No, but not lame to me because he did it, you know.
Right.
But no, I just don't do social media. Women, we got websites.
Right. Yeah.
If you're curious.
Yeah. So anything you want to mention that we can link in the description?
Yeah, if anybody's having any issues with their electrical, give us a holler at TN Trade Pros Electrical. You can find us on the website. Also, if you need a roof, we got that handled too. We got that site up and running. It's been good so far. We've enjoyed it. So, but yeah, reach out for all your service call needs, remodel needs. We'll take care of you at TN Trade Pros. Yeah. We value customer service and relationships that matter, and one of the things that I like to pride myself on is that we have a 95% customer retention rate, and that is not by accident. I don't believe in sending my techs out there trying to upsell people stuff that they don't need. Need to mention companies, but some companies, that's their whole MO, and right. My conscience can't do that. Yeah. And I've hired guys that are from other companies that do that, and they're like, so you want me to go upsell? And I was like, no, I don't. Yeah. I was like, if there's something that you see a customer needs, feel free to suggest it, but don't say, oh, you have to have this. Yeah. You're going to need a whole panel swap when that's not the case. Maybe eventually they will, but if it's not an urgent need, just provide them with the options. I can get them a quote. But let them decide. Don't scare them. Everybody gets scared about electrical. People will say, "Oh, well, I'll try painting, or I'll try to replace a toilet sometimes," or things like that. But a lot of people are like, "I don't mess with electrical."
For sure.
And it's a scary thing, and rightly so. I mean, it can kill you. Mm-hmm. There's no question. Yeah. I've been bit more times than I'd care to count. I can promise you that. Yeah. And I've had my bell rung on more than one occasion, but. Just because it's scary doesn't mean you need to sell something to the customer that they don't need. Right. Be fair, be just, take care of your customers, they'll take care of you.
That's awesome. And where are you located?
Our office is located in Hendersonville, but we service the whole tri-state area. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well,
Thanks for having me on. Never done a podcast before, so hopefully I didn't stink it up in here and
I think it was great.
Be terrible.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
But thanks for coming.
No, thank you very much for having me.
All right.
It was very nice meeting you.
You too. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. All the links and products we mentioned today will be listed in the description. If you're a woman in a blue-collar industry and you're interested in being the focus of the next episode, or you're a small business that would like to sponsor an episode, reach out to us in the link below.